What is your caste?
Which God do you believe in?
क्या हम इन सवालों से कभी आगे भी बढ़ पाएंगे?
या फिर ये अब भी हमारी आइडेंटिटी का बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है?
So let's tackle that big one word today, religion.
One who complains is an atheist. God is not some supernatural being sitting up there somewhere.
Do you believe that people are born in a religion or people acquire it?
Are there actually any real repercussions of marrying outside of your religion?
Faith is belief reinforced with conviction.
In Kamakhya temple, there's a lot of black magic happening openly.
That again does not mean what they did in Sabarimala is right.
What do we do about these self-proclaimed Godmen or so-called messengers of God?
In Hindu culture, the third gender is an accepted gender. So Rudraksha actually, the understanding is it is the tears of Bhagwan Shiva.
I am not religious, I am spiritual. This is a sentence that I hear a lot from this generation. पर इसके बीच में एक क्लियर डिस्टिंक्शन जो है वो मुझे अभी तक समझ नहीं आता. सर, आपको क्या लगता है कि इन दोनों में क्या प्राइमरी डिफरेंस है?
So I will speak primarily from Sanatan Hindu Dharma standpoint. Religion and spirituality, if we have to understand, it is like science which has two components. Where there is pure science and there is applied science, where there is theory and there is practicals. So religion is a combination of both. So pure science is the philosophy and the applied science is the rituals. Today people are referring to philosophy as spirituality and they want to be away from the ritualistic part. So they say, I am spiritual, not religious. So it is like saying, I will read books on swimming, but I will not jump into water. And yes, there is a certain dogma or fanaticism or fundamentalism that is connected to religion nowadays. So the people say, no, I don't want to be religious, I am spiritual.
There is this third segment who's these people are who will say that हम atheist हैं. What is this atheism then?
Atheism is a quest to know, in my understanding. It's only a quest to know the real cause behind me, behind this creation, behind why things happen in life. And I didn't find my answer satisfactorily in religion, so I've rejected that. Merely if you reject religion and God, you are not an atheist actually, because you are. Why have you rejected them? Because you have a quest now, and that quest is not answered. So if that quest is not answered, I am still seeking my answers. So I am a seeker who is wanting to know, and if somebody can convincingly tell me that why God is the cause of this universe, or God is behind whatever happens in the world, or whatever my questions are, then I will accept that.
But a lot of Indian families are very stringent about their religion and their rituals. So I think जो एक child का natural process है of finding their calling या फिर finding what they believe in is usually lost because you are trained so heavily. What do you think? Like, what's your message out to the parents out there कि आप किस तरीके से guide करें अपने child को?
See, if we go by Hindu Dharma's methodology and also the freedom that Hindu Dharma offers, the child actually will have the freedom to figure out what the child wants. Because in many Hindu homes, if you see, there will be many forms which will be there. So it will not necessarily be only one. The reason for that is each one will have a different temperament and they can identify with some different form. And you can't force somebody to love one particular form only. Suppose only Shiva is worshipped in the home. Now if I don't like Shiva, what do? Then that person will not be able to be quiet or peaceful. So in the puja room in general, there will be lots of deities who are there. Then there are lots of festivals which are celebrated. In and through that, then there are days. So they'll say Monday is for Shivji, Tuesday is for Ganesha, like that, days are there. Now, if a person wants form, one will find the temperament here. And for a lot of them, right in childhood, they are, whether you tell them or not, many of them, they come with that background because the past karmas and their life, past life samskars, they will choose, my form is Ganesha, I love Shiva. And you will be surprised actually that so many of them, and they have faith in that particular form. Then there is Om chanting. So Om chanting also is done in many of the Hindu homes. Om is supposed to be only sound, not a form. Om is a Sagun Nirakar Upasana. Om is not a form Upasana. So if you don't like a form, you can also focus on the sound, just the chanting of Om. Now in some families, if they become very rigid about it, okay, only this way, then my message is don't do that, because then you are hurting and harming the child's evolution. Expose the child to different things. You may have individually a particular form that you love, but celebrate all festivals, worship the different forms in your puja room, encourage the child to identify which is the form they love the most, give the child their personal form like that. Now slowly the child will build that bond. That's what I would say.
But do you believe that actually people are born in a religion or people acquire it?
Both. I would say both, because where you are born, in what family, in which country, in which religion, in what economic conditions, every single thing is determined by your past karma. You will not be born by accident anywhere. So if you are born to certain parents also, it is because of your karma. If you are born in a place, because of karma. So everything goes by law of karma. It is not random. Randomly nothing happens. This coincidence, luck, etc. is not in the realm of karma. We don't believe in all that. Colloquially we may say, okay, coincidence happened, but there is nothing called coincidence. Every single thing is by karma only. So you are born by that, and you are not controlled by your past. You have freedom now, so you can change. So you can acquire. If you don't like a particular thing, you change. Even in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that freedom is there. No? That's what we call as Purushartha. Means it is your free will. So you can change any point in time. As a human being especially, that is your prerogative, or what you call privilege.
You touched upon a very interesting point, which is that you can improve your karma. I want to know about not the spiritual or the meditation side of things, but what can you realistically do? I mean, through actions. If you are a better human being, if you are there a set of things that you can do which can possibly affect the trajectory of your life?
Definitely, you must have first and foremost, what is your vision and your purpose. That you must be absolutely clear about. It could be even making money. It could be serving society. It could be, taking my country to the top in the field in which I belong. Whatever, what is your vision?
Okay.
Like Dr. Abdul Kalam, he said that I want to empower the youth, or I want to make India scientifically very, very advanced. So whatever is your vision will drive everything. A person who doesn't have the vision is losing the potential, is not manifesting the potential, and so the life opportunities one will not even grab when they come. So first and foremost is the vision.
This raises actually a very interesting point. How do you distinguish between faith and blind faith? Because I think इसमें से बहुत सारी activities blindly भी की जाती हैं and people are just देख देख कर I have seen that
In Kamakhya temple, there's a lot of black magic happening openly. Like that's what they say. Like I have just visited the place and seen this.
one of my friends' parents used to follow this practice. So she also specially went to Guwahati and did that thing. तो I think कहीं ना कहीं आपका moral compass भी picture में आना चाहिए.
Faith comes into play when? Faith comes into play when there is something which is not tangible. I don't need to have faith that this glass exists because I can see. I don't need to have faith that a certain emotion I'm going through because I can feel it. It may be anger, love, jealousy, whatever it may be. I don't need to have a faith in an intellectual concept. where I can think about it and then I can see its application and I will see the result. Whether it's democracy, capitalism, socialism, I will see. I can understand, okay, this is working now, this is not working now. It is perceptible. But when it comes to subtler things, like deities, or like form, or spiritual practices, or what happens after life, many of these are not in the realm of regular perception, of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, feeling, thinking. It is not in this realm at all. You can't use those senses. But there are ways by which even this can be experienced. And so, Swami Chinmayananda's definition of faith is this. Faith is belief reinforced with conviction. It is a belief which has to be backed up by proper logical reasoning and certain experiences of people who have gone through this and experienced the higher states. If both these are there, then that belief becomes faith. And if you follow that faith, you will also experience what the others have experienced. So by that definition, if you see, there is nothing called blind faith. Because if logic is not there, then it is not going to translate into faith at all. Logic is very, very crucial in faith. It can be blind belief, and many people do many things by blind belief. But if they have Shraddha, Shraddha, literally the word Shraddha means that quality of the intellect which has the ability to retain truth. Shrat dhatte iti Shraddha. So if a person, how will that person have that quality? When that person has logically thought. So if I say I have faith in God, now logically prove to me God exists. Show to me examples of people who have experienced that God state of consciousness. Then I will believe God exists. And once I have that faith that yes, God exists and God is my true nature, then I will start following the practices, and then that faith will translate into experience. So the journey always is from non-belief to belief to faith to experience. In this process, when people are not inquiring about logic, that why this has to be done, what will this lead to, what is the result of this, who are the people who have experienced, if they don't question that, then like you said, it will just happen blindly. And questioning that does not mean you are
Belittling it.
belittling it, correct. You are not belittling it, you are asking to understand.
I think because you said questioning is very important, we'll actually be asking few questions regarding rituals which are practiced. So starting with, I think so, in a lot of times, at a lot of places, women when they are in their menstrual cycles, they are not allowed in religious places. Keeping this in consideration that we all are, equal in front of that supreme deity and everything.
Yes, so society has constructed it in such a way for a certain time period in a certain context. Today those contexts are different. Today there are enough methods available to handle the flow, etc. And women are also more equipped to deal with it. They are able to do many things during those days. In the earlier days that much was not available, and it is predominantly the main purpose why religion started saying that don't come to temple or do certain spiritual practices is just that she gets a rest, that's all. That is all it is, that she has to take some rest, and which is why no physical work also she will do, at home also she will rest.
That's why not allowed in the kitchen.
It started with that.
But nowadays it's more like impure.
Impurity.
That
See that, who is saying that? There are few people who are imposing that in that way, because we have to understand certain other factors which have now creeped in. So in a temple if you go, the energy of a temple has to be protected, preserved, and there is a lot of hard work which is done to protect and preserve that energy there. So if a person comes there, in Chinmaya Mission we don't have any restrictions for a woman to go during her period. She can go to any temple. Swami Chinmayanji didn't put any such boundaries. He very clearly said there is a rest period. If she is capable of doing spiritual sadhana, you go. Now coming to the temple again, the energy in a temple is very powerful, which will take your prana up. Generally our pranic energy, especially the apana vayu, is going downwards. So the best way you will experience any temple's energy and sanctity is you go fasting. If you go with a fast, that's what tradition will tell you, to go in a temple not having eaten anything. If you go with fasting, your pranic energy is automatically turned upwards. Then you will experience many spiritual experiences when you go and stand in front of the deity. If you eat and go, it will go downwards. And during the menstruation, the pranic energy is going downwards. Now if you come into a high energy area where the energies are going to be pulling you up and your energies are pulling down, you will go through a lot of trouble. For that reason, it is said, don't go to public places and powerful temples. Not because you are impure. Now people don't understand that, and then they say you are impure. Now as far as impurity is concerned, impurity is applicable for man and woman both. Okay, and so if you see in a temple, especially in a sanctum, etc., if you have to go and serve in that sanctum, there are a lot of rigid rules for it. If you go to use a restroom, you have to take a full bath.
Yeah.
You cannot go inside the sanctum just using a restroom. So there are rules like that. That is just to preserve the energy field of that place. That has nothing to do with the gender and this man is purer and woman is impure, etc. That is the confusion that has come in the minds of people. Now you have enough materials available. So that is the adaptability of Hindu culture. But that again does not mean that what they did in Sabarimala is right. Where the deity who is there is Ayyappa Swami, who wants to be in a brahmachari pratishtha, and in whose temple some of these women went and with their sanitary pad they went inside and they threw that and came. That and all is not acceptable. That you cannot take liberty. We are very clear that for us, all of the people, everybody is divine. Not only man and woman. Animal, plant, bird, everyone is divine. They are expression of one truth. So we don't distinguish in that.
What do we do about these self-proclaimed Godmen or so-called messengers of God who are propagating these very negative ideologies for their own benefit?
Society will have many of these different types of people who are there, and truth will expose them in time, is what I understand. We can try to create a certain system, but Hindu culture is very, very vast. There will be no way that you can create a system to say, okay, this person is certified, this person is not certified. How? It is not possible.
But sir, they have such a ardent following.
Exactly.
Exactly. So the only reason is because they are ignorant. That ignorance and dependency is the main reason why they will follow. Which is why our job is to empower them with the right knowledge and understanding, connect them back to their real roots, connect them back to the scripture, connect them back to what is the vision of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and make them independent. Once they are able to connect directly, they will immediately know what this person is saying is false. And today that is happening. Today, because of social media and many channels available, where you can question, and today knowledge is also available freely. So you don't have to depend on some people only for translations and other things. Today it is open source available, so many things. If you have that clarity, you will first go do the fact check and verify. And there are young people who are doing that. Lot of people who are doing that and going back to the scripture and saying this is wrong, what you are saying is not correct, and they are countering them also. But that number is very small. That number has to increase a lot. And only when society will get into a state where people are educated well, then some of this will stop. Otherwise, it cannot stop. That happens anywhere. Now you see in law, in medicine, in anything. People will exploit the others because they don't know. Like in India itself, if you see, the doctors will not even give you certain choices for you to make. As a patient, you have to be very, very well informed, then ask the doctor, ki, bhai, you tell me, why do I need this? We just believe, ki, okay, he said, now we go. So that happens in every field. Exploitation happens because of ignorance. And wherever we are able to give appropriate knowledge and empower, only then one can come out of that. Otherwise, how much can you create through institutions? What will those institutions do to certify? Their corruption will land up. Somebody who is got certified. That's happening everywhere, na? Even in medical field, even in our engineers, everywhere. People who don't even study, you pay some money, you get a degree and they get it out. So
सवाल करने के काबिल भी आप तभी बनोगे जब आपने उतना पढ़ा होगा.
But why so that I was very interested when I came to know about Lord Iravan? And why so that if a person is religious, it is considered that person will be, stringent towards queer community, transgenders and everyone. कि ऐसा नहीं होता है. They'll be orthodox in their thinking.
So again, I will speak for Hindu culture. In Hindu culture, the third gender is an accepted gender. That is called Tritiya Prakriti. In Ayurveda also, you have third gender ke liye separate treatments. Like you have separate treatments for bodies of male, like that you have for female, and then you have third gender. So it is accepted as a Tritiya Prakriti. If you see our sculptures across so many temples outside, you will find third gender will be there. You will find all these depictions of the third genders will be there. So in Hindu society, that has got accepted. So third gender is an accepted gender in Hindu culture. What is the vision of Hindu culture? Is you rise above your body identification through dharmic processes. Human birth is given to you so that you realize who you are truly. Don't waste it only for sense enjoyments. You sublimate your desires. So when you say you sublimate your desires, so then there is a certain process put in place. That 25 years you study, 25 years then you get into household life, 25 years you spend in retired thing, and then 25 years of renunciate. Through that you will attain all the four purusharthas, which is artha, kama, dharma and moksha. So you attain wealth, you attain enjoyment and follow values and realize the supreme through freedom. This is the broad vision of human life. In the third gender, if that clarity is there is no problem. But today, the third gender is being utilized for different purposes. What are those purposes? If you go deeper into it, I am not saying those who are having that inclination by itself, naturally they have that temperament, then that's a different point. That I said is accepted. But those who are promoting these institutions are actually doing in certain ways, certain vested interests are there to destroy the institutions like marriage, like family, like coexistence. They want to destroy it. Now that is not acceptable. One. Two, they want to promote this way of life where they want to create confusion in the young minds for gender identity. And they want them to just explore at the body level. So what is your gender identity and what is your sexual preference? Now they want them to only explore. In that is not the purpose of human life. If you naturally have a question about your identity, then you explore, no problem. You naturally have a question about your sexual preference, you explore. But that is not what is happening. This is through the media, it is fueled so much, now every young fellow is wanting to know. That is not good for a culture, because then the whole focus has gone on what? On only the body and only on material enjoyments and sense pleasure.
Sir, since we were speaking about marriages, I have a question out of curiosity, which is that are there actually any real repercussions of marrying outside of your religion or caste?
So there are two different things actually in this. So caste, if you see in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, it is called Varna. Varna means color. So color is the temperament of our human mind. So 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are as per the human temperament. They are not by birth. So if you marry the person from your Varna, possibilities are the tuning is more better. That's only a suggestion. But Sanatana Hindu Dharma doesn't have a problem where there are what we call the marriages between the different Varnas. But there is a challenge when one marries outside the religion, which Dharma doesn't say anything wrong about it or any wrong repercussions of it. But practically sometimes there may be a challenge in terms of if the religions have conflicting ideologies. So if one parent is following one religion, other is following another religion, and then the child is very confused. Especially if they have a conflicting ideology. If they don't have a conflicting ideology, then there is still not a problem. So there will be coexistence of two religious people with different ideologies but not conflicting ideologies. And then the child decides whatever they want to choose. Then in that situation there is no problem. But where there is a conflicting ideology, there will be a lot of challenge. Because the respect for the other one may not be there. Then one will forget only the child, the person itself will have difficulties. And marriage is not only about two people, it is about two families. Now, if conflicting ideologies are there, different mindsets of people are there, harmony is not very easy to come about. And in some of these religions, they don't believe in coexistence. So they will want you to convert to their religion, where there is a problem. Where if the person converts out of their will, then that's all right. But they convert because of marriage, then that is not right.
You said a very beautiful line that it has been suggested, and many people in religion take it कि बहुत stringent है, मतलब आपको कह दिया तो it's an order, but in religion a lot of things are just suggested. Such a beautiful line to put across.
We will go by what the Vedic declarations are, and Hindu culture is adaptable. So it is a suggestion. Finally, what is the meaning of Purushartha then? If Hindu culture is telling you कि you have free will, and it is saying कि no ये यहाँ पे लिखा है तो तुमको यही करना पड़ेगा, तो free will कहाँ से आया फिर? Right? So there are certain things which are told to you at a certain age when your Vivek Shakti is not developed. Then you follow, like a parent will tell the child कि now you should eat, because the small child doesn't know what is right, what is wrong, don't eat this, don't eat that. The parent will have to tell and the child will have to follow, because the child does not have that discriminative capability to know what is right and what is wrong. But as the child grows, the child develops. Then the child knows कि okay, this I don't want, this I want, because the child is capable of making the choice, informed choices. Same way it is in religion. Certain things are told at a certain age कि you follow this. This will be good for you. Now if you have your clarity and you are ready to face the choice, face the consequence of your choice, then you do. That's what Hindu culture says. Every karma will give you karma phala. You deal with the karma phala. Then do, aram se. But many people don't understand this, so as you said, they will become rigid. It is not more out of religion. It is more out of their ego. They are using religion for a shield, or they are using it to promote that. Because if that is so much there, then you follow that in every aspect of life, na? खाने में भी, बात करने में भी, हर चीज़ में वो फॉलो करो ना, जो वहाँ लिखा है वैसा का वैसा ही करो, उसमें नहीं करेंगे जिसमें हाँ, सो फिर कैसे हो सकता है वो? देन ओनली ऑन दैट वन थिंग व्हाई आर यू पुशिंग?
मैंने रुद्राक्ष की माला पहनी है तो मेरे कुछ सवाल है इसको भी लेकर. एक्चुअली एक बड़ा सब्जेक्ट है विच इज़ कमर्शलाइजेशन ऑफ रिलीजन, और ये मैं इस चीज़ में भी बहुत ज़्यादा देखती हूँ कि किसी को नहीं पता कि एक्चुअल रुद्राक्ष कौन सा, आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें कौन सा हमारी बॉडी के हिसाब से ठीक है, और उस चक्कर में इतने सारे बिजनेसेस हैं जो चल रहे हैं. तो पहला सवाल ये है कि कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें, कैसे वो सही तक पहुँचे, और दूसरा ये है कि ये जो कमर्शलाइजेशन होता है इसका रूट कॉज क्या है. जब हम लोग लोगों की भक्ति और लोगों की फेथ को कैपिटलाइज करने की कोशिश करते हैं, उसके क्या मतलब, उसे कैसे चेंज किया जाए इन जनरल?
सो रुद्राक्ष को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए स्पेसिफिक टेस्ट्स आर देयर, I right now don't know some of these. We have in Chinmaya Mission, we used to have one person called Narayan Bhatia ji. So he was an expert on Rudraksha, and he has even written some of the books which are there. And he would go and identify, and he would bring. And so from there we used to get from our Chinmaya Mission this thing only. And so I will send you that detail. I don't have right now the test exactly. Some 2 or 3 tests are there with water, copper, something they do, and then they find out the thing, actual Rudraksha. So Rudraksha actually is the understanding is it is the tears of Bhagavan Shiva. When he closed his eyes and he was meditating, and then he had to kill this asura called Tripurasura, he experienced a certain state of ecstasy, and those tears have fallen. From there the Rudraksha plant has grown. That's the Puranic understanding. So Aksha means eyes. Rudraksha means the eyes of Rudra. So when one wears a Rudraksha, so Rudraksha, one is it by itself, every object has its vibration. Every single thing in the world will have its own vibration. Rudraksha will also have certain positive vibration. It will help in your aura cleansing, and it will help in your energy factor. But that's the most rudimentary benefit of Rudraksha, and majority are just falling for that. Just by wearing a Rudraksha, you will get a certain benefit only. Rudraksha is actually meant for sadhana. So different mukhis of Rudraksha, each mukhi of Rudraksha has a mantra associated with that. So depending on what you want in life, you have to choose a particular Rudraksha, and you have to do japa of that mantra. Like this is a Panchamukhi Rudraksha. All these are simple Panchamukhi Rudrakshas, and Panchamukhi Rudraksha, the mantra is Namah Shivaya. So if you want the full benefit of a mantra of the Rudraksha, then you have to do the mantra japa of that a certain quantity every day and connect to the divine. Now that nobody is telling. That is the sad part, what you said. The people's faith are getting exploited because people don't know, nor are they bothering to find out. Today's age, though enough information is available, you can find out. There is a whole Upanishad called Rudraksha Jabala Upanishad. Open that and read. You will find out what are the mukhis of Rudraksha, which deity is connected with which mukhi, what is the mantra of that deity, all that is written. Or even read Shiva Puran or Linga Puran. They will also tell. So if people want to, then they can find out. Second thing is, those who are selling, they also should actually provide that information so that the customer makes the informed choice, and that will only help their business. But they themselves are ignorant, they don't want to do. Third thing is, Rudraksha if one wears, one should also know the benefit of Rudraksha will come only if you follow certain lifestyle. If you chant the mantra or if you wear it, but you don't follow certain lifestyle, whatever benefit is generated will get offset by the negative influences of a certain wrong lifestyle. So if you wear a Rudraksha properly, daily if you are wearing a Rudraksha, then you should not have any intoxicating substances. You should not have non-vegetarian, no onion, no garlic, and you should follow moderation in whatever permissible enjoyments also are there. You should do a certain number of japa minimum every day to benefit from it, and those are not very big numbers. They will be like 27, 108. It will get done in 10 minutes. So like that, there are simple rules that people should follow. And finally, Rudraksha is actually meant for me to realize that Shiva is every moment with me. So I face my life with courage, confidence, strength, and Shiva is watching me. Eyes of Shiva are on me. So let me not go away from the path of dharma. अब ये majority doesn't want to understand this, follow this. उनको क्या लगता है, ये पहन लिया, मैं बच गया. This one mala of Rudraksha is there, or one mukhi Rudraksha, ek mukhi is supposed to be the most powerful. Now I will become successful. Arey, your thought process you are not changing, you are not living a higher lifestyle, you are not doing the mantra japa, simply you are wearing one mukhi rudraksha, it will give you some benefit, but it will be absolutely basic. कुछ उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. It is like saying, I have a gym in my house. Okay, you have a gym in your house. अब तुम जाके एक्सरसाइज तो करो. No, जिम है मेरे घर में. तो जिम है तुम्हारे घर में तो क्या हुआ? तो रुद्राक्ष मैंने पहना है तो very very basic. So how commercialization will stop is only by giving more knowledge. For that the desire has to also come. People can give knowledge, but how many want that knowledge? For that willingness to change has to come कि भाई I want to empower myself. The moment somebody says I want to empower myself and my life is my responsibility, then they will start looking for ways to empower themselves, which is applicable in everything. If I want to build a strong body, then I must have the desire that I want to become strong. Then I will do exercise and I will do gym and I will do aerobics or zumba or whatever I will do. अब वो will ही नहीं है तो फिर कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So in the society that is what has to come. So how to empower oneself, and your life is your responsibility. That message has to come. Otherwise religion is being used. What has to be actually making you independent is making you dependent. That is the wrong purpose.
I was reading this somewhere that whatever is happening around us, it is all a dream of that one celestial body, that one person around. And which brings me to the question, how do you, what is your taking towards this reinterpretations of religious texts? Not only reinterpretations, but like Devdutt Patnaik does them. A lot of people do that. What is your take on that?
So the first thing that you said is actually what Vedanta says. Vedanta is saying that the whole universe is a projection. And who is that entity who is projecting? That is you as a consciousness, not you as an individual. Now if I understand that, then the whole entire thing is a projection and my nature is infinity. That's the ultimate towards which every aspect of Sanatana Hindu Dharma will lead to. But like you said, reinterpretations. Some people are doing reinterpretations on their own, without anchoring in the scripture, without studying it traditionally, without understanding what it truly means. They may have, some of them have started with a good intent, but in some ways they are harming the Hindu Dharma. Especially the names that you took is today gone absolutely on different track. And the anchoring in the core philosophy proper is not there. So the person has become famous very soon, but not speaking what is traditional proper vision of that Hindu culture. Speaking anything on certain things on one's own, that will lead to more confusion in the people. So it is very important that those who are speaking and writing take responsibility. Again, very difficult to regulate all this, because today enough people are talking anything they are talking and they have absolutely no basis. If you ask them what is the source of this, it will not even be there. They won't know the source. They would have actually told ulta things, and it will create confusion, and that wrong thing becomes the right knowledge for so many people. Like even if you see the names of children, simple example if I have to give you, Dua. What is, so Deepika Padukone and Ranbir Singh's child is named Dua. The morning they kept that name Dua, by evening it was trending as a Sanskrit name. It is not a Sanskrit word, but it is trending like anything. Now nobody is even questioning कि भाई ये संस्कृत कैसे है भाई. And those who are questioning are few people, they are there, but the masses are not seeing that. Like this, lot of things are getting misinterpreted, which is why it is very important for the people to become more and more aware. That only if they are aware then they will know, otherwise it is impossible. Anybody will say anything. And the and we need to go by not the numbers, we need to go by facts. A certain person may have a certain large following, that doesn't make that person authentic or true. So what is the basis? Why would you follow somebody? If one understands ki, okay, is this logical, is this relevant, from what is the source, what is the purpose why this person is saying this, that requires some homework. And if you don't want to do that homework, then be ready to pay the price of ignorance. Ignorance is more costly, always. So that homework has to be done. And reinterpretation, etc., adaptive knowledge to a certain time is one aspect. But saying something which is absolutely cooked up by one's imagination is actually hurting and harming the philosophy.
That's a beautiful note to end the conversation. Thank you, genuinely thank you so much for your time. I think it's a very important discussion to have, and most people like us feel lost because there are so many voices around, so much noise around, that you're not able to understand what's true and what's not. So this guidance, it's like a light for, hopefully, for a lot of people
For a
of our
lot of
age.
people.
So thank you so much for it.
To both of you also, and for Y-Axis, was happy to have this conversation. Thank you.
It was an amazing conversation to begin with.
Eye-opening.